Welcome to the very first Death Battle cast of 2022.
Woo!
What? Wait, how old is this show at this point? How long have we been doing
How old
this?
am I?
That's an excellent question. You're like 40 something,
right?
right?
Is 25. The answer is 25.
Oh.
The wiki has my birth date as yours, Ben. They just copied it.
We're twins, man. Like we were born at the same
some
time.
People thought I'm 30. No, I'm 25. I don't know why I thought it.
Wow. Way to throw me under the bus, I guess. Hey, as always, it's us. It's the Death Battle crew. We're here to talk about some nerdy shit that nobody else cares about.
That's not true. They care about it. That's why they're watching.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, nobody else cares about.
Yeah, that's the right way to say it.
I don't see Obama watching the Death Battle cast.
Let's not rule it out.
I don't know. Like looking at the chat, for all we know, Mystic Master has been Obama this whole time.
It's been Obama,
Yeah, totally.
All right. Well, since this is the new year, might as well kind of make sure everybody's on the same page. If you are watching this on YouTube or listening to this as a podcast, we do this every Wednesday live at noon Central Time. And we argue about ridiculous matchups, and things get a little heated sometimes, but it's all in good fun. You can always join us for the live show in our live chat, and we do keep an eye on that, and the chat can get involved in the conversation. And then the episode goes up on YouTube later, as well as pretty much everywhere you can find podcasts if you want to listen to the audio version.
If you want to watch live, just get the Rooster Teeth app or watch at roosterteeth.com on your browser.
Yes, and we are very excited to jump into this year of Death Battle. Season 9 begins in March.
Yep.
We're going to have an epic season this year. We've got so many cool matchups planned. I really want to talk about them, but we can't yet. I know people have been theorizing a lot because we had a little teaser at the end of Popeye Saitama, which was one of my favorite episodes I think we've ever made.
It is hands down my favorite episode.
Yeah, me too.
Now when anyone asks me, like that is
it was Snake versus Sam for like the longest time. It had such a long reign, but I think now I actually got to.
I laughed out loud watching that fight when the I can't reads that, and then you're like I fucking
that's
I
a pretty good
so hard. Like, oh my god, it's so good.
Finding like a balance between, because like One Punch Man does have that gore and violence and whatnot that is doesn't really match well with Popeye.
Right?
No.
So finding a balance there in the fight to make sure that it felt like we weren't going too far one or the other direction was a little tricky, but I think we got it. And based on the reactions I've been seeing, like I think everybody. It's really funny watching people react to that part specifically, because some people are like, "Oh, that's hilarious," and other people are like, "That's not it, right? That can't be it. What happened?"
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I sent a whole nice message to the team in our Slack channel, but I'm just like blown away by like this episode, every aspect of it, like the research, the writing, the editing, the animation, like
payoff at the end. Oh, it's so sweet.
I think one of the things I put in there is like, you guys achieved something I never thought was possible. You killed one of the most popular characters in anime, and people are okay with it because we did such a good job presenting everything and also with the animation. Like, that's crazy.
Man, it's a far cry away from season 2
Sure
or season 1, right?
Yeah.
It is interesting seeing reactions to like whenever we bring in characters. Like obviously, Dragon Ball is the big one when it comes to like or when people think of Death Battle, they think, oh, when they did the Goku episode, everybody got mad at them. But nowadays that doesn't really happen. I feel like we've kind of hit a stride where we sort of, I guess, understand things better, because there are definitely things from those old episodes that we could have done much better. Goku vs. Superman. There was an episode of Cast last year that I was going to talk about Goku vs. Superman.
Yep.
And then like
and then your
my
internet
stream
exploded.
died halfway through.
That's right. You guys missed out on the epic rant. You guys missed out on
I was gonna talk. I'll have to do that at some point. soon, because it was going to be like, oh, we're reaching the end of our 10-year anniversary, time to talk about Goku vs Superman, and it just didn't end up happening.
It wouldn't
the
let you
internet
do it.
decided,
No.
Nah, can't do that. But that is another thing. Our 10-year anniversary is over. On to the 11th year
And we're already
anniversary.
11, so yeah, like
This is our special 11th year season.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. We're just going to do that every single time. But we are very excited to get into this year's season.
before we keep going, I just want to let everybody know. So we probably talked about it on the last cast. I don't remember because it was pre-recorded, but you may have seen the news that we were planning on attending MagFest, which is one of our favorite conventions in the entire world, and we were all so looking forward to getting to see people in person again and do a convention. But unfortunately, COVID cases are just rising like crazy. And actually, yesterday, the governor of Maryland declared that Maryland is in a state of emergency. And we thought it would be irresponsible of us to continue to go out there when that had happened. But we wish MagFest all of the best. We're gonna try. Like they've been so sweet and accommodating because obviously everybody's dealing with this and it's insane. But we're trying to do something virtually. So if you guys are still attending, hopefully we'll be there in that form. So I'll keep you guys updated. This is all like super last minute and crazy, but like I can't tell you how much we love and support MagFest, and we hope to be able to come out there next year. And if, like I said, if we can do something virtually, we'll be doing that. So
I think it goes without saying that like right now, like COVID cases are exploding. Like I think it was yesterday that it was 1 million new cases reported. And that broke
it's getting lit out here.
That broke the previous record of 500,000, which was 4 days ago, which itself was a previous record holder. It's fucking crazy.
Yep.
And MagFest is good people, so we obviously feel bad about it, but like, Chad's right. It would be irresponsible and just. You don't just fly into a state of emergency.
It sucks so bad because it's like we were so looking forward to it, and like we also feel for MagFest team. Like they've got like a whole new administrative staff that are all doing it for the love of MagFest, and we're like we love that convention, and so it just like it sucks, and like just one other thing that's just like fucking COVID, man. So anyway,
we'll see if we can do something virtually, and if we can, we'll let you guys know. Keep an eye on our socials as well. We'll definitely be talking about that.
On a lighter note, did you know that the phrase "fucking in the kitchen" in Dutch is "nuken in de keuken"?
Thanks, Liam. Thanks for that. That's good.
I just saw that yesterday. I checked it. I saw it on Twitter. I was like, I got to check this. It is nuken in de keuken. You can look that up right now on Google Translate. Also, Spank Me Daddy is, and I'm not shitting you.
Can we get into,
I'm not shitting you. Give me in clap, Papa.
Can we get into why, though, Liam? Can we dig a little deeper?
What a left field transition. Where did what was off the like? Oh, we love MagFest so much. This is great. Like, let's move on to the next thing. You're like, hey, here's
at the beginning of the I was like, I want to bring this up in cast. It'll be really funny. When am I going to do that? Oh,
here's my time.
I'll do it right after the COVID thing.
I forgot you're in California. It adds up now.
Give me in clap, Papa? Are you shitting me? Nuken in the keuken?
Yeah, languages are funny,
Yo,
Liam.
baby, you want a nuken in the keuken?
Buddy Biggs, I was thinking the same thing. Is the Dutch word for sex nuke?
I think so, which is awesome.
All right.
You know, they're doing it right.
Okay. What else is our day about here?
All right, so now that our minds are officially broken, hey, we have a community death battle to get to. This is one that I was honestly not expecting us to do, but it's really interesting, I think. So
I don't even know what it is.
We are going to be doing. Oh, that's true.
Nice.
All right. Well, surprise. It is time for Geralt the Witcher versus Trevor Belmont.
Okay.
Which is going to be cool.
Easy on Witcher Season 2 spoilers, though. Some of us are still finishing it.
Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
So here's how this is going to work. Sam is going to be arguing for Geralt, and
That's
Liam will be repping Trevor. And then me and Chad will be just kind of hanging out. But it's their job to convince the jury to vote for their respective character through any means necessary. The jury consists of 3 seats: myself, Chad, and you in the chat if you're watching this live. But this isn't a courtroom. We're all part of the conversation, so we can all jump in at any point. If you have something you want to talk about in the chat or bring up, feel free. I'm keeping an eye on it right over here to my right, your left, whatever it is.
I've got it open too.
So the way we're going to get this started is let's start with Liam and Trevor Belmont.
Okay.
For an opening statement of 60 seconds.
I think Liam's had enough floor time for this episode.
That's kind of true. That's why I want to get it out of the way.
I'll go first. I'm gonna fucking rock it.
Go ahead.
All right. Trevor Belmont.
That's not right.
It comes from a line of illustrious vampire hunters. We all know Castlevania. We have all played it. Those games are insanely fucking hard. That's not a really big deal. But the thing that is important about Trevor versus Geralt, the designating factor, Geralt is like fantasy Batman, where so much of his best stuff, his fights, require prep work. That's where his genius as a fighter comes from. Whereas Trevor, his arsenal and his skill set and his combat experience does not require the same amount of prep. He does well with it, but from his fights, we can see that he can just go balls to the wall. His arsenal is a lot more direct. It's a lot more powerful. He's a lot more powerful. He wins in stats. He's fought bigger enemies, worse people, more powerful people, and won. He just has more to pull from, better stuff to pull from, and I just think he wins across the board as a hunter. And in the end, Geralt is just going to get nuked.
God. I'll give you the tie in there. Good job. Way to
Wait,
call back.
Are you saying this fight's going to end in a sex scene?
Well, that's the joke in every death battle is
yes.
Like it is sex. So yes.
Cool. All right. Well, Sam, 60 seconds on the clock. What is your rebuttal? An opening statement.
Rebuttal. Okay, let's see. Can I see? There's a 60 seconds. All right. So Geralt is a witcher who is. Trevor's just a human, even if he's fancy. Witchers are very, very superhuman. They have incredible strength, speed, all of the above, and extra strong immune systems, extra strong healing factors. And not only that, Belmont, yes, he does kill monsters, but he's really focused on vampires, whereas the Witcher is like just killing whatever the fuck's around pretty much. Doesn't really even matter. Humans too, just killing shit all over the place. And I would wager that Geralt has a lot more experience killing other people than Trevor has killing people. Like a lot more, right? And then somebody's also trying to nail in a cabinet behind someone is so distracting.
I was gonna say,
yeah. Thank you, Liam. Hammering? You're trying to ruin me. I see your new mind game tactics.
I'm covering my microphone.
It is not working.
Like, just mute your microphone, you dick.
Liam, are you here to sabotage the show?
Yeah, I'm trying. It might be coming from my camera. Well, whatever. No, the hammering stopped now. And whoever's doing that is going to die. But Sam, what total bullshit? It only focuses on vampires. Have you played a fucking Castlevania game before? And the hammering begins again.
Oh, good God! This is horrific.
What bullshit, what a ridiculous, and he's only human. Yeah, in the sense that, like, a character with obvious superpowers is only human because he was, like, born a human. No, he has tons of different abilities, and his arsenal gives him tons of different abilities. The Witcher has...
Witcher also has magic, which is a pretty big one.
Oh, Trevor has magic, too. He has tons of magic.
Trevor has magical things. He doesn't really do any magic on his own.
Carrying Worm in the chat mentions Trevor has a magical Bible.
Yeah, he has a magical stopwatch which can stop time. I was going to save that for a little bit later, but I'm not sure what Geralt is going to do when he cannot move through time.
You don't even have any magical items to stop that hammering before.
Yeah, seriously. Oh my god.
Are you using the right mic? Why is that so loud?
Liam.
Penalty to
Whenever,
Liam.
whenever I
penalty.
need it, then it stops, which is so amazing. Which is so funny, right? Like okay.
Yeah, very funny.
Okay. Anyways, Trevor wins. I almost said Geralt wins because I was.
You heard it here first, folks.
Trevor has holy magic. No, he can survive. He can surround himself in flames and fucking punch with like a falcon punch. He can surround himself in a golden aura, which increases his durability. He can summon like a storm of knives. He can summon like a gigantic axe, a holy cross which flies around him and explodes the entire
canonically
area.
he can only
And
hold
time
one
stop.
of these at a time.
That's a game mechanic. He can carry multiple of them at once. That's just a like which one is he using at the moment?
Carrying Worm says Trevor's durability is at least multi-solar system level, possibly universe level. He endured a beating from Dracula, almost unharmed by Isaac's attacks.
I wasn't going to go full on with the Dracula scaling, but yeah, I mean, if you want to, like
I don't buy the like because he can fight with Dracula and Alucard. He's faster than light. Like,
real? No, well, I mean, they can both dodge light beams. I don't know. That's not super crazy.
Okay, so how is he with repelling any sort of mental takeover? Oh wait, there's a whole entire plot point where he has his brain taken over. And that's why I'm just gonna say Geralt can do that, and that's the end of the fight.
Is that before or after Trevor stops time and then like punches his head off and stop? Can he mind control and stop time? Is that
well?
Question I had.
How does the mind control thing like start? Like, what does he need to do?
I also have
It's just like a hand signal.
And if you play the games, like it's not like he's like, now you are my slave forevermore. It's like a very brief thing where it's
but they do talk about how like what is it, Lesser his other Witcher friend, they have like a whole banter joke thing where he gets this bandit to kill his friend and then hang himself. Like it's at that level, right? He has it at that level where they can like.
We don't know, right? Like Geralt is like an amazing Witcher, but we don't know if his like every one of his abilities is to the same level. Like, who's to say that one of those guys wasn't specializing in that kind of in that field of Witcher magic, rather than like Geralt, who is fairly well rounded.
I mean, I would say in the books he uses it to some pretty extreme ends. He's not as like ruthless in having people kill themselves, but he definitely has plenty of people just fuck off, right? And I just think that's more of like in the game you don't really use Axii because that's a very difficult game mechanic to work out, right? But in all the other lore he uses it to pretty good effects, and like to the point where if you can get somebody to do whatever you want, it doesn't matter if you're telling them to kill themselves or just leave the room. Like they're doing what you tell them.
I mean,
Dude Blade X
mind control.
Dude Blade X in the chat does have a good point. Calling Trevor like putting him at a universal level is like saying Batman is a multiversal being because he could beat Superman with kryptonite. They do the Belmonts do specifically use weapons that are tailored to fight people like Dracula.
It wouldn't apply to when Dracula's attacking him, though. You could make that argument because of the whip, but you couldn't make that argument when Dracula's like shooting energy blasts at him. Anyways, I wasn't going to go full on with the Dracula scaling because I don't think it's necessary. We see Dracula eat a fucking giant meteor to the face, and have spells that are more powerful than that. So if you want to go like the lower end stuff, like something like that, yeah, I mean that would still.
I think there's a limit to how far we could push that, though, just because of the arsenal versus his own abilities.
How long is it before Geralt needs to drink more potions?
Durability, though, is what I'm saying. Like,
sure, yeah.
Hey, it's a new year. Maybe you got some new resolutions. Maybe it's go to the gym. Maybe it's go to different places and travel. Maybe it's hang out more or more books. Audiobooks is the way to go. And gotcha is Raycon. That's the people here. Because all of those things, Raycons can help you with. These bad boys, bam, open them up. They make a cool noise. You slam in your ear. You got books to go. You got music to go. You can go to the gym with these things. You can hang out on your couch with these things. You can travel on a plane with these things. They're great, okay? Raycon's everyday earbuds look, feel, and sound better than ever. And no matter how much you shake things up, literally, no matter how much you shake, you know they won't fall out of your ears because these things pretty dang sturdy, y'all. Okay? So, right now, Death Battlecast listeners can get 15% off their Raycon order at buyraycon.com/cast. That's buyraycon.com/cast to save 15% on Raycons. Just do it. It's buyraycon.com/cast. Go try it. Go check it out because these bad boys real good for your ears. Okay?
What were you saying, Chad?
I was saying, how long is it before Geralt needs to drink more potions, right? Because he has a strict regimen of potions he has to drink or he'll die, right?
No.
They got rid of that?
He never has to drink potions.
I thought that was the whole thing about in the early like in the books and shit. Don't they have to keep drinking potions? Am I crazy?
No, they do it when they become witchers, and then once they're they either die doing the potion regiment or they become witchers essentially.
So
there's a mutagen after that though.
What is a witcher?
Okay, so when they're little kids, they get injected with this witcher mutagen, which is not super strongly explained, but essentially it gives them super immune systems. And then the big thing that they do is because they have super immune systems, they can drink a whole bunch of potions that give them a lot of extra abilities. But just a witcher without potions is still the whole lore for them, whether or not you want to buy it as a thing, is they can run faster than the eye can see and cut down 20 men in the blink of an eye and that shit, right? That's what they say about them. But pretty much they're just superhumans with super senses, and it's because of this mutagen that makes them kind of part monster is what it's described to. But I don't know if people just call them monsters because they kill so much shit and they're scary.
Yeah. Computer Ronin in the chat has brought it up multiple times, and I've seen some other people say it too. But the Belmonts have literally fought the Angel of Death. So
yeah, I want to clarify: not the Angel of Death, death
itself,
just straight up death. And
let's just summon, death and kill
exactly.
death.
Who Dracula owns death. I just think that's kind of crazy. But yeah,
what about owns? But they're bros.
They're bros.
Yeah.
But he's a subordinate, right? Except in Netflix, I think it's different in Netflix.
Yeah, he's not part of the gang in the Netflix, but he only is able to beat him because he has a very specific old world magic thing.
Yes,
Trevor has nothing to do with the fact that he beats death in that canon.
In Netflix, but in the games.
Yeah, in the game, sure, but also in the games, there are many humans that can beat death. It's not just Trevor that does it. Other Belmonts do it. The kid from the DS game does it, who's really good, and I can't remember his name. The lady from the next DS game does it, and she's awesome too. And plenty of people can beat death. He's not literally.
I wouldn't say that that's because death is weak. It's because those guys are also at the same.
Yeah, but
Trevor
also I just say don't get Castlevania death mixed up with the Judeo-Christian I touch you, you fall over dead death, right? They're not the same person. They have a lot of similarities. Yes, they both have a scythe. They obviously are farmers. Great.
I would need to check.
Farmers of life.
I would need to check the lore, but I believe it is the death in Castlevania is still that I reap the souls of the living, and I can touch you and instantly kill you.
I will say this is just a side note, but one of the best things in the Castlevania Netflix series is they talk about how somebody mentions vampires, you just have to point a cross at them and the Lord will hurt them. And he's like, you're an idiot. They come from the Middle East. They don't care about Christ. It's just the fact that they have predator eyes, and slamming a geometric object that close to their eyes just makes them not be able to focus. And it's that's just such a good way to handle that little. Yeah, that's what they talk about. It's that's such a great way to handle that little piece of lore of why a cross gets them to run away is because it's it takes their eyes out of focus, putting a geometric object close to it.
That's hilarious. Yeah, and that makes a lot more sense.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well,
but Geralt, very strong.
I want to go back to something else to something that we talked about earlier, which was the time stop versus the like mind control thing. Based on how you guys described how they actually implement those, it sort of sounds like they would effectively accomplish the same thing. It just kind of freezes or stuns the opponent for a little bit, allows them to get in a killing blow.
Yeah.
So,
the mind control thing, it is very like Axie is what it's called, is very much just Jedi mind trick. Like it pretty much has the same rules as everything, right? Like
I should also I did forget this earlier, but when you like there are kind of lore statements about Castlevania, like the castle itself, that when you enter, it like literally corrupts your mind and your soul. Like it kind of drives you mad. So that might be a resistance feat for Trevor, being able to kind of withstand going through Castlevania without his mind being fucked up. I don't remember the specifics though. It's been a while
since when was that a thing? Is there ever a character that just goes completely crazy in Castlevania?
I forget if there's like I forget if it's that or if it's like one of the like death or somebody being like, yes, entering here, the energy of the castle will drive any mortal man mad or something like that. But not in like a generic way, but in like a specific way.
Yeah, because there's like hella monsters hanging around. That's gonna drive anyone. It's gonna make most people run away. Yeah.
Press X to doubt.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure where that's coming from.
Well, let's look it up. Let's find.
What a terrible night to have a curse.
That's what you're here for.
Mm-hmm.
You making shit up, Liam? You making shit up?
Geralt, how about this one? Let's do strongman stuff.
I guess
Geralt,
technically it's not against the rules.
he beats a bear to death with his hands. Like he fist fights a bear.
I mean, that's pretty rad, but
that's pretty cool.
That's pretty rad.
Oh, is this the Geralt feat that's gonna just decimate Trevor? He beats.
I mean, he does much stronger, better like strength feats, right?
Yeah, but a bear,
none of them are as cool.
What's Dracula got on a bear?
Yeah,
exactly.
Bear's gonna fuck his shit up.
And who's to say that bear wasn't a vampire? You don't know.
Yeah, could have been the angel of death in bear form.
Yeah, that's right.
He also does it to like a rock troll, which is much, much bigger. So, that's probably more impressive. But the bear is really good. He beats a bear with his bare hands.
Really
Let me tell you, I just like
guys. It. What's happening? What's going on?
Wait, okay, hang on. Of all the feats that we're going to focus on, it is punching a bear with his bare hands. It doesn't kill the bear?
I think there's a lot. Like, okay, let's talk about what will obviously happen. Weapons clash, right?
Okay.
Sam brings out sword versus whip.
Yeah.
What's
sword
whip made
greater than whip?
See,
here we are, Liam. Sword greater than whip.
Whip.
I mean, whip's got the range.
Whip A has range. A B has more power than a normal whip, right? Like a normal whip is like just like, ow, that hurt. Oh, ow. But this whip like explodes enemies. Even the non-holy magic variety like explodes enemies when it hits them. It has.
Does it? I thought his whip only did that. His whip only does that when he's full health. And
no, I'm just talking about like literally in the games, like when you whip something.
Well, isn't that because it has like a silver?
Yeah,
or it's something.
That's the advanced whip, but the earlier versions of the whip in the games are like the rope whip that you need to like hit the handles to upgrade it. But there's also a flame variant to the whip. There's an ice, a thunder, a wind, a holy, and an abyss variant to the whip.
Okay, but which one does he actually have?
You can have any of them. That's the
at any time.
Abyss whip. It's
dark magic. It channels dark magic. It's like from the one of the 3D ones, the like kind of the RPG element one. I don't know what it's called. It's one with Hector in the game.
What does dark magic do?
I don't know.
I'll tell you what it doesn't do. Sure as fuck doesn't stop that hammering.
The hammer. Like, oh my god.
Everybody's seen the movie Scrooged with Bill Murray. Knock off the goddamn hammering. That's all I can think of right now. Like, sorry.
So he has a dark magic whip.
Sure.
But I mean, Geralt has a bunch of magic too, right? We haven't really talked about that.
Yeah, Geralt has a bunch of like he has.
It's basically the Force. Like,
well, kind of, but like he's got like Ard, which is force push, right? That's like a big blast. Quan, I think it is the big shields they use on him, which can seemingly do not have much of a limit to what they can shield from. It's more of a, like timing the shielding is the key with that one, because they seem to be able to keep just about anything. Like it doesn't matter, gigantic explosions that wipe out like small armies and shit, like they're good. It's just whether or not they do
it based on their reaction time. Like they got to be
yeah, pretty much, yeah. And they can't hold it for long. It's like a temporary shield, but it is a very strong shield.
It's a reflect kind of thing. Not a shield.
Trevor also has a shield too.
Or
they also
kind of
they have one that like they can essentially like trap doorways and stuff to make them impassable, which is another one. And then he has the hand fire thing, Igni. So you can just shoot big old flames out of his hand, which are like really strong. Like there's multiple times where he burns like multiple people just being like blammo, and they're just like charred corpses, right? So very strong. Yes, he says blammo. That's the name of it. Blammo.
That is the incantation. Man, I never knew that. But
Trevor
yeah,
can
and
also produce projectile flames with the holy water, which explodes against the ground and explodes into like a line of fire and incinerate people.
well, the holy water that only works against like undead or like non-holy things, right?
It explodes into flames before it hits anything.
That's because you're in an evil place.
No,
is it like holy fire though? Would it actually affect like a Witcher?
Yeah, if he threw it at just like Jeff, like,
would he be like, ah! Would Jeff burn to cinders?
Yeah, it's fire. It's like a modifier. Like there's
it's like a magical fire. It just targets a specific kind of entity.
You can tell Ben is just not fully into that argument by the delivery of the argument itself. No, it's
no. You can't answer my question by
a holy
the
fire
question
has been a
itself.
concept in a lot of things, and a lot of times holy fire is the like it's like it will only burn like the impure or whatever. So that's why.
I will also say Geralt does have some sort of like, or Witchers in general seem to have some sort of like spidey sense, not to the precognition level, but they like on many occasions they're like, oh, people are watching us, and they can't see them. They just like can sense that people watch them, right? Like they just have that kind of sense to them.
So what's Trevor gonna do when Geralt turns into fucking Spider-Man?
Oh yeah, when he shoots webs and starts swinging around and stars. And
I mean, he might have a potion that makes him shoot webs.
Go on.
He might have a potion that makes him shoot webs. They got a lot of potions. There's too many to count, but
okay. So we have the magic. We have his 2 swords, and then we have the potions. What are the potions? Like what?
Yeah, does he have like a vulnerability potion for a certain amount of time, or like what's like the top tier Witcher potions?
I mean, there's some that essentially just make him like just stronger. Most of them have specific uses for fighting specific things, though, right? Like if they're gonna fight like giants, they do the one that makes them like stronger. They have one that turns their blood into acid, so like vampires can't fuck with them, right? Because their blood's acid. Like they have a lot of potions for that. They have one that like maxes up their like their healing factor, so they like heal super duper fast. And then like it's pretty much like any aspect of being a Witcher, there's a potion to enhance that aspect. Most of them do come with like some sort of hangover side effect kind of thing, but that's like well after the fact, right?
So they juice up for the battle, and after the battle they have an after effect to it. Are any of those after effects like death? Like, do they have a potion that's going to kill them?
No, I mean, I'm sure if they like took that much of like all of them at once, it probably would. Because the point is like their immune system is so strong it can fight off the poisons in these potions whilst receiving the benefits. So it's like the potion that would like if any human drank it, they would flat die like instantly.
So he can also just shove one of these down Trevor's throat and have him put in poison to death.
Caring Worm
Presumably,
says Geralt has succubus decoction, where the attack power grows over the course of a fight until
decoction.
Yeah, until reaching a maximum threshold. So he can literally slam a potion as he gets stronger and stronger until he hits whatever max.
So this is interesting though, because like based on their arsenals, kind of what I'm gathering is Trevor has a lot of weapons and material that, sure, it's fire, like it can still burn people, but it is an arsenal that is geared towards a specific goal, and so not everything is going to necessarily be usable or highly effective against somebody like Geralt. Meanwhile, Geralt, a lot of his abilities are more general or literally just make his own abilities better in some way. So it sounds like he's got more options to basically let him respond to whatever sort of situation Trevor is going to put him in. Whereas I'm not sure Trevor can do the same against Geralt.
Hey, it's 2022, so let's start the new year off with a bang. Boo, boo, boo. Yep, this episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Guys, confidence can take you far in life. It can also help you in the bedroom, especially when it comes time to step up to the plate. That's where Blue Chew comes in. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable tablets at a fraction of the cost. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever the opportunity arises. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. The best part? It's all done online, so no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package. So, Blue Chew, men everywhere are excited to see the postman because when that package arrives, so can yours. You get it? Did it? Anyways, they always say the first impressions are important. And what about lasting impressions? You get the deal, guys. Something to help you be a little bit more confident when you need it. So, if you could benefit from extra confidence when the time is especially ripe for it, Blue Chew can help. And you've got a special deal coming right your way thanks to us. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code DBC at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code DBC to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast. We couldn't do it without them, so thank you very much. Go check it out.
Trevor's arsenal is geared towards one thing in the same way that a gun is geared towards one thing. It's just like
Okay.
That was great.
You know, it's and the point of the fight is murdering each other. Yeah, Geralt has a wide variety of things to do because that like the point of the Witcher games is that a big part of combat is preparing ahead of time specifically for whatever specific monster that Geralt is fighting. So it requires some prep time, some foreknowledge. Geralt himself is very smart, but he isn't like a super genius. His smarts come from the fact that he knows he's been.
He has experience.
He has experience, exactly, and he knows everything, how to prepare for something. Trevor, I don't think it's necessarily a downside that he's never fought somebody exactly like Trevor, because Trevor is pretty simple, but it does help that none of his arsenal is specifically geared towards like hard countering somebody like Trevor, whereas Trevor's arsenal also not technically geared towards hard countering Geralt, but is much more powerful. Like the guy can surround himself with a flying cross that explodes with this like kind of energy wave that just disintegrates anything in his vicinity, right? Like
yeah, but then he can just use his shield for that,
but it's
right?
Fucking like explosion.
All those very predictable blasts where he has about 3 seconds of a big cross going around him, he can just put a shield up. Like
I would like
And
to
it
say, Courier New points out, potions have nothing on eating an entire rotisserie chicken in one bite.
That is
Yeah,
impressive.
we killed it, dude. Yeah, that's
Like-
great. Okay, you know what? That might have convinced me.
I would also say,
like, could you?
How does that even function? Like Trevor finds a chicken in the wall,
With
picks
his
it
jaw
up, and it just
unhinges.
It's got to do that snake thing. You just got to jam it down there.
They were gonna have somebody's dogs are barking for 2 seconds, so now the shoe's on the other foot.
it was only 2 seconds because I have a mute
gonna
button
stop-
at hand,
It's gonna start
Liam, which I just
hammering in just a second. I'm making an argument.
I have
here.
good.
I'm advocating.
Okay, my thing though is I kind of think that Geralt's sword just kind of cuts through the whip.
The whip is like steel,
Yeah, I mean his sword cuts through steel all fucking day, every day.
and the whip whips through fucking walls and people. And no, he's not gonna cut through.
Well, the
Yeah, I
sword's
kind of
not
think
gonna-
he's just gonna cut it
Is
in
there
half.
wait? Is there something special about the sword that
he
like?
has a sword.
Yeah, like
the sword's it's
even
like
even
made
in
with
real life,
silver,
a whip
right?
versus sword is not quite clear cut. Like,
Yeah.
like you're not just gonna effortlessly slice through a whip like it's made of cheese or whatever. So is there something about Geralt's swords that makes them like super extra sharp
like
or
silver,
magically
right?
ability to go through something?
Well, no, they have a silver sword, which honestly would not get used in this scenario probably at all. They only
That's
use
just
it
for
against
monsters,
shit
right?
where
Yeah.
not even most monsters he doesn't. It's just specifically like werewolves, like in some other ones, right? There's like specific ones where they do need silver swords, so they always carry one. But they don't. Usually the sword's just on the horse. They don't even carry it. They just carry their normal one, which The Witcher has. Like, so their swords, he has two. Geralt has two. All the Witchers have a sword that's made out of meteorite that is specifically cuts through steel, and that's how they're able to like. There's like a great GIF from the games. Let me see if I can. A wonderful TD. Let's see. Let's just set you. I'm gonna put some in the Discord, Nick. If you can show it, that's cool. If not. But yeah, like he just cuts through steel plate armor like it's butter. Like it doesn't really matter, right?
Interesting. Okay.
He gets another sword later in the series from a dwarf that has like dwarven runes on it and like a whole bunch of things that's supposed to be better, but they don't really describe much about that sword. So it's like hard to say a lot about that.
Christ. Sorry, I just watched that GIF.
Yeah, like plate armor doesn't matter at all. Like it goes right through.
But
Steel. No problem.
not to get too deep into like real life physics, but like maybe you could argue that if like Trevor is holding his whip out straight, like and holding it taut, but if it's a whip, it's like it's not hard enough for it to cut through. It would just like
if you're going to say that
He's
Trevor's
talking about the tension, and like the resistance.
Yeah.
But if you're going to use that argument towards like
real life physics don't work with this.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So I don't think real life physics can really argue against this.
Also, if you're going to say that Trevor isn't whipping his whip hard enough to retain that tension, where if you're saying it would just simply like bend or wrap around, that's going to be essentially the same thing for him hitting anything else, unless he hits it directly with the tip, which is going to be pretty tough.
Alucard, who has a magical sword, and he has literally wrapped his whip around Alucard's sword. Alucard's sword wasn't able to cut through it, right? And Alucard also fought Dracula, also fought...
Does Alucard's sword do that to steel, though?
Yeah.
Yes. They're like... I can feet dive for Castlevania right now. Cutting through like a little a plate armor is nothing compared to... I'm trying to find... I'm looking at this GIF that is really funny that I don't know how to like get it off of the website. But
Liam, sometimes your tech abilities are mind blowing.
It's okay. I'm right, so it doesn't. I don't need to.
You're right or right?
Yes, right and ripe, both. Trevor's axe, like just his axe, swinging it down, like shatters the entire ground around them, and like this big. If you go to the Trevor Belmont versus Battles wiki page, or down to the gift, it's for some reason I can't like copy image. It's not letting me do that. Like the materials that they are using are far stronger than what you would find in normal life. Like, yeah. I don't see that. I don't see that as being like an actual like.
I just like, can he lob a person in half with like a single like just
Yes.
casual sword strike?
He whips monsters in half all the time.
That's true.
Yes, with a whip that's made to explode monsters.
But even with the rope whip, he can do that. Like even without the magic
can
whip.
you
the
show
rope whip
me-
is still like, I thought the rope whip still had like a silver tip or whatever on it. Like,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
The rope whip,
Yes.
the starting rope
But
whip is just
even then,
basic ass rope.
it is the Belmont's whip, which is
Yeah, I was
made
gonna
for
say,
this.
Right.
It is
No,
not
just
just
some
a
random
whip.
whip that he picked up off the street, or is it a
It's-
Belmont like
No,
heirloom?
and
sort of
in
thing?
fact, even in the Castlevania series, the first whip he has is just a basic ass whip. He has to go to the Belmont like treasury or library area to get that huge, really
Right.
nice brain spanking one. And it's true in the games too. Like he upgrades.
Why would he not just start off with the best whip from the Belmont vault in the games? That doesn't.
Well,
I mean,
Game
They
they
were
weren't
thinking
thinking
about
about
that,
that.
give
This is
everything
like
up
the
every
NES
time.
era, right?
Yeah.
So, like, but the music
All
was
right.
slamming.
All right. Well, I think I think we can start wrapping this up. Sounds like we got some pretty interesting arguments. I'm honestly still a little torn on who to go with. So I think it's going to come down to the Twitter answers for me. But in the meantime, here's what you can do right now. We have a poll up in the chat. You can vote for Geralt of is it Rivia?
Rivia.
Yeah.
Rivia. You can also type in #1 for Geralt if you're on mobile, or #2 for Trevor is the second one on the poll. So go ahead and get those votes in. If you need some time to think about it, go for it, because we will be spending a little bit of time right now talking about what is going on. All right. What is going on? So I just wanted to really briefly kind of like talk a little bit about what to kind of expect going into Death Battle for this year. I can't really get into too many spoilers. I don't really have any big matchup announcement or anything like that. But I did want to kind of like talk about how we are very excited to jump into matchups with franchises that we have not actually explored yet. There's going to be a lot of different episodes this year with those. We are going kind of off the beaten path with some episodes.
Yeah.
And I'm not entirely sure how people are going to react to some of them. It's going to be interesting. We're definitely exploring some new things with this season, not just with franchises, with other things as well. So I'm very excited for you guys to see what we are doing with some of these episodes and some of the people coming on to help work on them. So please, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, I hope you guys can tune in and help support us. It's been amazing seeing the support for this past year with the 10-year anniversary, and I would love to see that continue, because we do this stuff for you guys at the end of the day. And I still don't know how long Death Metal is going to end up going. We've been doing this for 10 years, 11 years technically at this point. And it's all because of you all watching. So super excited to see what happens with some of these weirder episodes. Also, we are bringing in a new director for some episodes. So Liam is actually going to be directing more episodes than ever this year, right? You're like got half the season or something, right?
I have 6, I think, at the moment. The number.
We don't even remember.
Yeah.
There was it's funny. There was like 2 episodes,
You know,
can't say what they were, that
yeah.
him and I kept like getting mixed
Back
up.
and
Like, I'm
forth,
directing that
back
one,
and
right?
forth.
No,
I,
Liam is.
For the script process, we were going through it, and I was like, yes. And I realized at the end that I was like, oh wait, no, I have to prepare these documents for the animation process. And I was like, I need to. Yeah, okay, I am directing this one. Okay, let's think of. Let's not just be like, yeah, that makes sense. That's fun. Be like, no, Liam, get an image of in your head of what this is going to look like. Yeah, that was really funny. We literally kept being back and forth, being like, nope, you are.
And then Billy, who ran and directed DBX last year, is going to be on some Death Battle as well. So very excited for you guys to see the episode. He's been working on it for a while now. It was one of the first episodes we jumped into, actually. So it's probably going to air pretty early on in the season. But we'll let you know what that is when we get to it. Yeah. So, all right. Hope you guys have gotten in your votes, but we are going to get to the Twitter responses in just a sec, as it's time to wrap up this week's community death battle. All right, so we got 4 votes to get to. First one's going to be getting into the Twitter stuff. But I believe we should have some answers from Twitter. Is that correct? Am I right? All right, let's go ahead and bring up the first one. Whichever one is first.
And I'll read it. There it is. This comes from Eli Moore Holmes. I think Trevor wins because, like most of his family, he has a pretty fair amount of tools to use at his disposal, let's say, right? Sure. And can fight both Dracula and Alucard, who has light speed reaction times for starters.
Thank
There we go.
you. The stats was brought. I didn't
Somebody
even
agrees with Liam, I guess. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead
Shit.
and bring out the answer for Geralt.
Ogres Have Layers says Geralt is strong enough to cut stalagmites to bits, and his on-hand abilities like Quen are
Those are all his signs.
Yeah. Allow for greater versatility, so it is easy to see whicher of the two will win. That's to say, Trevor certainly Bill won't. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I grabbed that one. I was like, "That's some trashy puns." I'm about it. So,
Of course.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. I'm still kind of torn.
I do think his argument though of like Geralt's got way more versatility in stuff that Trevor won't see coming, right? Like all of the signs, like he's not gonna have any clue he has that stuff. Plus the Axie mind control thing.
He wouldn't have seen the
suggested.
Is any of it really that different than stuff that Dracula can do? Like Igni. Okay, let's take Igni versus the giant hellfire ball that Dracula throws at his opponents, right? Even assuming that he would be like not resistant to mental stuff, like Geralt's also not resistant to time being stopped, so I don't see it as being a huge advantage. And I agree with the light speed stuff.
Does the time stop thing ever?
It is limited
not
time.
affect someone.
Well,
It doesn't work against bosses.
Yeah.
It's questionable whether that's just a game mechanic thing to make the bosses actually work, or if there's some canon reason for they have a level of power that can resist it. And if that is the case, can Geralt compete with that?
It also doesn't
Is
last
Geralt
that
as
long.
powerful as something like Death or Dracula?
I mean, yeah.
No. The Witcher is not a super high level of power series, and it doesn't need to be. Like that's not the point, obviously. But I wouldn't say he's as powerful as Dracula. Dracula draws his power from an entire separate dimension of fucking chaos and evil. He's like an eldritch being reincarnated into the physical world. He's a god, right? That was the. Fine, I am talking. That's why I'm not muting it.
I know.
And it stopped hammering the instant I muted it. I'm gonna lose my mind, dude.
This is funny.
Okay. All right. Let's get to the Twitter poll then. Let's get this started and see what you guys voted on Twitter. Let's bring that up.
I actually am going to be showing all that, and let me make sure you don't have any nefarious tabs about our show up. No, I don't. Cool. Bingo bongo. There you go.
Oh,
Trevor
takes
just
it.
by a hair.
Wow. It is
Pretty close.
very close. I got to zoom in a little bit. Hang on. What are the numbers?
But it is Geralt at 47.1 and Trevor at 52.9. So super duper close.
Two. Okay. Wow.
Very close.
Yeah.
Wow. That is very close. But Trevor does pull it out just barely in the Twitter poll. So you got one vote for Trevor.
Gang?
Crap.
How y'all
Okay,
feeling?
Chad, what are you thinking?
I'm gonna have to give it to Liam. I think he's just a little bit too powerful and has too much of an arsenal for Geralt to deal with.
Interesting. Okay, that's 2 votes for Trevor. Nothing for Geralt just yet. Screw it. Oh my god, this is
where
really
Ben
difficult for
chooses
me.
chaos and he says Geralt.
Yeah, time for chaos. Well, okay, real quick, get those votes wrapped up. We will end the poll in just a bit because it's almost time to get to your results. But I'm going to vote for Geralt. I choose chaos. Let's do it. I think just the fact that his tool set amps him up is going to give him more versatility when it comes to the fight itself. And once he learns, I think it is. That was an interesting point you brought up. How like he has probably seen a lot of what Geralt does have available to him, but like once Belmont throws out a weapon or attack, and Geralt learns what that is, that's kind of all it is from then on. Whereas Geralt will be constantly be able to adjust and improve throughout the fight, and Belmont doesn't necessarily have that.
Yeah, and Geralt does have a shitload of experience. Like,
yeah. I mean, like, how old is Trevor? Like 30?
Little baby boy versus Geralt.
Yeah, Geralt's like close to 100. Like he's much older.
Yeah,
and has been killing shit that whole time.
Yeah.
All right.
He's also Belmont. Like, go on. Yeah.
That's 2-1. So let's see what we've got from the poll. Let's go ahead and bring up that result. Oh my gosh, this is a tie. I may have destroyed this. Oh,
there you go.
Oh,
whoa!
It is a tie. We got 56% Geralt, 44% Trevor. Wow,
is wrong again.
I switched him too. I beat your Twitter poll.
It is completely different.
That always feels good when you sway the chat.
Yeah. Usually we let our tech director Brian make the final call, and we have a tech director Nick today. Nick, do you want to make the final call here? Do you feel qualified?
Yeah, you could be the fifth vote. He's talking to us right now.
So
go, Chad.
Okay, so yeah, he said that when he started the poll, it was like 80% Trevor and 20% Geralt, and then by the end of it, you guys had been shifted all the way in favor of Geralt winning. But then his choice for the final battle is he chose Geralt. So there's Liam.
There you go.
I was with you on this one, Liam.
Hey, Liam. Maybe he did it because your audio was so shit.
I've actually said we should do this episode. I think it would be
I think it'd actually be really good.
Yeah.
I think if you take the like super literal light speed Alucard shit there's not much of a competition, but without that like one small thing, I think it's really good.
Stats, I think it's a lot more interesting. Stats can make it. I think that's kind of what the pushback I've seen when I've suggested it is like, oh, it's just stats. It's a stats thing. It's like that's kind of but
I'm sure there's things like
hacks versus hacks. It's a lot more.
There has to be times where, because like the Witcher fights a lot of like wizards and shit, and like their lightning is the actual element, so like lightning should be lightning. And I'm sure there's times where he's dodged lightning and stuff.
He has I've seen him speed put it like hypersonic or something like that, which I think makes sense for like that kind of tier of like like lowish superhuman, but around there you usually get feats that are like they dodged lightning one time.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm loving seeing the chat reaction to the as Blizzard puts it, the fucking reversal. Because man, what a crazy. I was not expecting that ending at all. I was actually expecting Trevor to.
I was actually expecting the opposite result. I was expecting Twitter to go hard for Geralt because I think he's a more popular character. I guess the anime series switched it up, and then
I don't know.
I actually, like you said, I think this is a really interesting matchup, and it would be cool to have a matchup like this in Death Battle. I don't believe we've definitely never done a Witcher character. The only Castlevania character I think we've ever done is Dracula. Yeah. So
I'm a big Castlevania fan, so I'd love.
Yeah. Speaking of new franchises or exploring franchises we've barely touched, these seem like two that would be really neat to bring into Death Battle in the future. Who knows? Maybe we'll do that this year or maybe later on, depending on what you guys want to see. So let us know what you think of Geralt and Trevor Belmont, or any Belmont, being in Death Battle. I'd love to know what kind of matchups you guys would like to see in the future for both Death Battle cast, community Death Battles, and Death Battle proper, or hell, even a DBX.
Which is the Belmont with the trident?
He's not a
Belmont. No, he's not a Belmont.
He's in Castlevania Bloodlines, the Genesis one.
Yeah. Sorry. I just think we haven't had a trident fight.
That one's really good.
And,
Not a lot
that'd
of
be
people
cool.
messing with the tridents.
I
man.
know, I'm just
We
saying.
got Aquaman and we got
That
Poseidon.
guy from Castlevania Bloodlines.
All
I just
right,
need to-
everybody. Thank you so much for checking out the very first Death Metal cast of 2022. I'm super looking forward to this year. I think I've said that.
Yeah.
I think I've beaten that dead horse a lot today. Thanks, Nick, for TDing for us today and for solving the problem of the tie. Man, Geralt wins. It's crazy. But as always,
Another one.
be kind to others, be kind to yourself, be awesome. We'll see you next week. Take care.
Adios.
Like,